Events in the past 4 days has suggested a possible breaking news at the Ekiti State House of Assembly. On Thursday, November the 17th, 2022, a combined team of security operatives had taken over the premises of the House just 2 days after the election that produced Mr. Aribisogun as House Speaker. The police cited intelligence reports on possible security breach. Earlier Monday morning, news filtered out that Mr. Aribisogun, sworn in 6 days ago, had been impeached by 17 out of the 26 lawmakers in the Assembly. 6 other lawmakers were also suspended for allegedly compromising the process of the election that produced Aribisogun as Speaker, among other allegations. Minutes after the exercise, 16 of the 17 lawmakers headed to the Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress in the state to explain their actions.
Not about me. It's not about fire.
The new speaker claims the earlier election was compromised and in contrast to the party's directive.
That election that you are talking about was actually compromised. Because if you look at the people that are in the House today, also what that sat today, you will see, even when we start asking questions, more than 14, 15, 16 were saying that they did not vote that way. Apparently, maybe there has been some compromise on that, but that compromise has been wiped by the decision of today. There are 70 people voted unanimously for me.
The leadership of the party describes the emergence of the new speaker as consistent with its zoning arrangement.
As soon as the speaker died, we knew there could be problem. So for the aversion of possible problems, the party needed to invite House of Assembly members to speak to them. First and foremost, we said they should allow the position to remain in South Senatorial District, where the former speaker came from.
But the impeached speaker will not accept the new development, describing it as a nullity. Mr. Aribisogun claims due process was jettisoned in electing the new speaker, and as such, it will not stand. The drama unfolding in the Ekiti State House of Assembly follows the death of a former speaker, Fumini Afuye, on October the 19th, 2022. Afuye's deputy, Akim Jamiu, had acted till last week Tuesday, when the House held an election producing Mr. Aribisogun as Speaker, after reportedly polling 15 votes as against 10 garnered by Olubunmi Adelugba. Mrs. Adelugba is the first female to ever emerge Speaker in the state's legislature.
And that's the issue we're looking at this morning for you. We're going all the way to Ekiti State right now to ask what is going on with its legislative arm of government. Honorable Hakim Jamiu, who's the Deputy Speaker, Ekiti State House of Assembly, joins us right now, joins us via Zoom from Ekiti. And we also have Honorable Olubunmi Aribisogun, who I'm a little unsure now of how to designate him. We have here former Speaker, but he insists that he's still the Speaker of the State House of Assembly. Gentlemen, welcome to Sunrise Daily this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Just trying to confirm.
Good morning.
I'm unable to see both of them. It will be helpful to be able to see both gentlemen as we speak with them this morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right, let me start with you, Mr. Aribisogun. Can you tell us, because from what we have now heard from the speaker who was elected yesterday, and also from the leadership of your party, They say that you were elected out of turn and that not a lot of people voted for you. It looks like there was some hanky-panky in your emergence as Speaker. And even your party doesn't seem to be in support of your initial emergence. So can you give us your own side of the story?
Well, thank you very much. I want to say that we are still in a democratic environment, and whatever anybody may be saying, we should look at whatever we practice as democracy, the principles, the doctrines, and what gave us what we have today as the governance process in Nigeria. I want to differ from whatever anybody is saying, that I was not duly elected. The party is one, the government is one. The Constitution is also there for our guidance. Whatever anybody is saying now is an afterthought. And that was why I said in my statement yesterday that I still remain the Speaker, because I was duly elected, going by the extant rule of the standing order of the House, at the same time through the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It was true that the party wanted to impose someone, and they had their candidate on the floor of the House. And we went into election. I won the election with 15 to 10. I was duly sworn in, only for the same people to now say that an election was not in tandem with their own thought. The party has no hand in the election of principal officers, presiding officers of the House of Assembly. And that is what I want the party to understand, that the election, the Constitution says, Section 92 says that if the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall be elected amongst its members, not that the party will come and pretend over the election. The clerk of the House is the only authority in the election of Speaker. And the floor of the House was there live when the election was conducted. Free and fair, an election result was declared, and I was declared. So whatever the party is saying today, it is just because they do not want a particular section of Ekiti State to have the say in the government. We have 3 senatorial districts. And I did mention, when they called us to the private residence of ex-Governor Fayemi, I did mention that we have the constituencies, we have the Constitution, we have the standing rule, that we cannot just go ahead and impose on the will of the people. That was what I told them at the meeting. The party chairman was there. All the other former deputy governors were there. When I said, I stood up to say that thing cannot fly, just because we cannot impose people on willing people on the majority. And that was what played out on the day of the election. I scored 15 out of 25. So whatever they are doing now, that's why I regard it as a nullity. It is still in contention, and that anybody who might want to comment on this matter should always refer to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We all pledge our allegiance. We all sign to the oath to protect our Constitution and the sanctity of the law. So, regardless of politics that is now playing out, the truth is that we had done what we need to do as legislators to elect our own Speaker. And I remain the Speaker until otherwise is proved. Whatever drama they played at the State House of Assembly yesterday is known to everybody that the police led some people into the House of Assembly to carry out that illegal impeachment.
Well, let me get your perspective, Honorable Jamiu, because you were Deputy Speaker when Honorable Afuye was there. It seems like you have retained your position. Can you give us a perspective as to what transpired since the passing of the former Speaker, right, Honorable Afuye?
Good morning. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Hello?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Hello? Okay, can you hear me?
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, good morning. Yes, yes, I retain my position as a Deputy Speaker because in our party we have our arrangements, and all over the world the positions, principal positions in the House of Assembly, they are party positions that are held in trust for the people and for the party. And in 2019, when we were elected into the House of Assembly, the same process took place. The governor then was from the North Territorial District, that is Dr. Fayemi. The speaker, later emerged from the South Territorial District, while the deputy speaker, Otobabi Segbeyemi, from the Central. So that is the arrangement. And when Letafuye died, being from the South Central District, 2019 to 2023, but it's so unfortunate that in Ekiti state elections that we usually have, normally the legislature should normally end almost at the same time. That of the governor will end by May 29, the assembly around June. So it's just some few days apart. But because of the court judgment that produced Dr. Fayemi in 2010, that was balance in the tenure was disrupted through a court judgment. So since then, you normally have a gap of about 8 months before the tenure of the legislation will match. So that's the reason for the problem. But it's not supposed to be a problem if people want to be sincere. Because if Fafia had not died, he will have completed his tenure. The argument of Aribisogun now is very funny and laughable. That when Afuye died, the party leadership is only the party leadership called us. And when you talk of the party leadership, it composed of sitting governor, all former governors, all former deputy governors, the party chairman, and some leaders. That is a combination of party leadership. So they invited us because they have seen some intrigues, some moves. And I want to tell you that our House of Assembly has been very, very peaceful in the last 3.5 years. So when the party invited us, they explained that, please look, let the South Central, because zoning is zoning is taken seriously in our party. Zoning is taken seriously in our party. So they invited us and explained that the South should be allowed to complete its tenure. And Aribisogun that is talking within the ambit, yes, we have to work it out, but the party position must be followed. There is party discipline, there is party supremacy. The same party benevolence Aribisogun enjoyed in 2019 when he joined us from PDP. He joined and he was given a return ticket. Not only that, he was made the leader of the house, even to the annoyance of many people from his constituency, because he was supposed to have waited for his turn coming newly into the party. So coming now here to say that the party cannot impose, the party did not impose. It's an arrangement all over the world. Positions in the House of Assembly, that position belongs to the party, and the party determines who gets what. So to cut the long story short, we have all agreed that we are going to toe the party position, the zoning arrangement. That the candidate from the South, should finish the tenure.
There was an election which saw the emergence of Honorable Aribisogun. True or false?
Let me tell you, that election was a sham. We later discovered that the whole process was manipulated. The whole process was manipulated, and that was the reason for the crisis in the state, because members started complaining. About 15 to 16 members started complaining that this is not the way we voted. we later discovered so many things because we set up an ad hoc committee that later found out that that process was compromised. And that is one of the reasons for his impeachment and suspension. How if he claims to have 15 votes, where are the 15 now? Yesterday, 17 honorable members who elected the speaker follow her to the party secretariat where we addressed a press conference. The 17 introduced themselves one after the other. Where is Aribisogun's 15 members? Let him produce the 15 members. He's the only person who can decode the puzzle. He's the only person. So let him. If you claim that 15 honorable members voted for you.
Say exactly.
Hello.
Was it him that manipulated the process, and how?
Yeah.
I'm afraid
we don't discover that
the connection is a bit faint. All right, we'll try that again. It's really coming in broken.
I'm not able to give you details now. Hello. I can hear you.
The connection
Hello?
is not that strong, so we'll try and see how to correct that one. But I think we do have Honorable Aribisogun as well on the line. So he says, Honorable Jami says that your election was manipulated, and that was part of the reasons why they moved against you, and that the party had agreed that it was not supposed to go to you and where you represent, actually, and that was why the party moved against you. So did you manipulate the election or your election as you emerged?
My election was never manipulated. It was in the open glare of the Ekiti people. People were at the gallery. Nominations were made. I was duly elected. So there was no manipulation. The party is only being economical with the truth. They had already wanted to impose their will on Ekiti people. We have 3 senatorial districts, like I said. The southern part of the state had the deputy governor, they had the party chairman. The central part of the state had the governor, the minister, and the ambassador. The northern part had nothing. And these are issues that we have discussed even before that time they invited us. And I've consistently been balanced. There must be equity. There must be. And what happened on the floor of the House on the 15th when I was elected was clearly to show to the party that the majority of our members wish that we have the balance in Ekiti State. We are stakeholders. Regardless of the fact that we were brought up by the party, we are still leaders in our respective constituencies, and we have that inalienable right to tell our people, and our people have that also the right to tell us what they wish to happen. So, if the party, in its wisdom, is saying that it was because the House of Assembly member, the 15 members that voted for me, did not adhere to their own instruction, I think they should have a rethink that this is a democracy and not authoritarianism. We are not practicing dictatorship. It should not be encouraged because democracy allows for free will, freedom of expression. And we have established in our instant rule that elections should be held where there are two nominees. And there were 2 nominees at that point, and election was held peacefully, no rancor. We should ask whoever is there now to say whether after the election they did not come to congratulate me in the office. They all came, even the protestants on Guadeloupe came to my office, embraced me and they shook my hand. That was a clean contest. So the issue of manipulation did not arise at all. It was just purely that.
So where are all those? Where are those 15 people now? How come they turned on you?
Yes, they turned against us just because they feel that they have given instruction and we did not follow. And we said it at the meeting where they gave that instruction that we are still going back to our constituency. to go and ask our people. Before suddenly the then acting speaker, deputy speaker, called on Monday that there's going to be plenary on Tuesday. So we were still consulting. But just because he was the one acting, there was no way we could say no. Because notice has been sent that we are going to have a plenary meeting on Tuesday, and the election will take place. So it's on the other paper. So if for now everybody is now saying in the party that we disobey the party's directive, in what way did we, when we follow the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, at the same time follow the standing order of the State House of Assembly on election of presiding officers?
What is next for you now?
Ask them.
What are you going to do next?
Well, like I said, I've issued a statement. The leadership of the House is still intact. 15 of us are still talking. And we have resolved that if they did not reverse their action, if the police is still guiding the House of Assembly with this illegality, we shall approach the court at the appropriate time.
It will be interesting to see how that is going to, how that's going to pan out, because you admit now that the 15 people who initially voted for you have now turned against you. If indeed they have, I mean, who really is on your side?
The 15 of us are still intact. They wanted to divide us by suspending 7 in their own reasoning. And the seven of us that they said they have suspended, we consider it as illegal. Because in our standing rule, they have nothing to show that they have actually suspended. Even the impeachment did not follow due process, because I needed to be served and I needed to be given 72 hours to reply. All those things did not take place. They just went in there without authorization, without anybody, just because they have the support of the police. They broke into the assembly and they took charge of the mace and kidnapped the clerk to come and administer out of allegiance for them. So all that took place, we all had it on the video, and at the appropriate time we show to the whole world what they did, the travesty of justice and the desecration of the hallowed chamber of the assembly that they have done, and the whole world will know whether we are on the truth side, whether they are on the wrong side. So it is still something that is going on. Hello?
Can you tell us this zoning arrangement, even though you maintain that Ekiti North does not have any position, and that's one of the reasons why you think that you rightfully emerged as
Speaker. In the southern part, where they wanted the Speaker to go, we already have the Deputy Governor. We already have the Governor of the party, which is the party chairman, Federal Constituency 1, Federal Constituency 2. They now wanted to add the Speaker because of the unfortunate death of our late Speaker. We now said no. That the northern part of the state, it happened to me in 2018 when the Governor Fayemi was elected governor. I was the most senior in the assembly, and they said because the governor was from the north, I cannot be the speaker. I agreed, and the thing went to south to complete the tenure of the northern part. So if they are now changing
the points they are making right now is this, Honorable Aribisogun, if you can hear me. I mean, Honorable Afuye.
The speaker in 2018.
Sorry, Honorable Aribisogun, can you hear me? Just a moment. Yeah. Honorable Afuye, we understand, is from the southern, or was from the southern part of Ekiti, and he will still have been speaker at least up until the tenure of this particular assembly lapses, and then a new assembly is elected. Because don't forget that only recently did the governor emerge.
In 2018, another now was the speaker, Honorable Kola Oluwawole, and when Governor Fayemi came, they removed him and said the North cannot hold the two, and they brought in Honorable Alagbada, who was from the South. He started his tenure on October 11, and by June 5, Honorable Fumini Afuye took over. And by the unfortunate death of Honorable Afuye, we knew that the North ordinarily should have taken that position, should have resigned, just because we said, no, the party has not spoken. But when the issue of zoning came up, I stood up to tell them that there is a northern constituency. We are going back there to tell them. So if they agree, you will know from their actions. But And I make sure that I detailed it, that you cannot have the governor in the center, the minister in the center, the ambassador in the center. Then in the south, where you are now claiming that the thing should be retained, you cannot have the deputy governor, you cannot have the party chairman, and still want to add the speakership when the northern part, comprising about 9 constituencies, had nothing. So these are the issues we raised at the meeting they called at the private residence of the former governor. If they want to deny it, they should come out and deny it. And I don't want that Governor Fayemi didn't have the need. It is just that he's a coward. If he's not a coward, he will not go to the extent of denying what he did in his own private residence and within about 30 or 40 people. So I'm still going to take him on that. He's not the one trying to destabilize the State House of Assembly. I stand to say that he's the one, and I'm going to tell him to his face that what he is doing in Ekiti will not be acceptable to Ekiti people, because he cannot put a governor at the same time not allowing the same governor to work. We are all witnesses to how he has been manipulating the current governor, and how he has been sandwiching him, not to allow him to speak, not to allow him to do anything.
Has the governor said anything to you about this?
He has been threatening me that he will make sure he eliminates me. But I want to tell him that
has the governor said anything to you about this?
I'm still the speaker of the state. If he dare say no, then we'll meet.
We need to know. Can you hear us actually? All right. Has the governor said anything to you about what happened?
Well, the governor has been, because he knew that if he says anything, perhaps Fayemi will take it upon him. Because all along, the leaders of our party, we have Otunba Aribisogun, who has spoken with Governor Fayemi to allow this thing to stand.
We're winding down. Just hang on a minute. Just hold on a bit. Let's ask Honorable Jamiu.
They are going to defend.
All right, just hold on a second. We'll come back to you soon. So, Honorable Jamiu, yes, you've heard what he said. But when you started in your opening saying all over the world, these kind of positions are party positions held in trust and things like that, what part of our constitution supports your claim? Because from what we see, it talks about members in the House of Assembly. It is entirely their business to elect and conduct their affairs. So are you going to support your claim with any part of our laws? Honorable Jamiu, can you hear me?
Who shall be elected among the legislators? Go and read it.
Honorable Aribisogun, just hold on a minute.
Hello.
This is for Honorable Jamiu.
Yeah. Hello.
Honorable Jamiu, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can I go on? Yes. I heard you clearly. Yes, what I'm saying is that it's not all these provisions that you have the constitution, but we all know that this is the reality of politics. They are party positions. I told you in 2019, the party did everything in zoning, and we agreed, and we went there and work it out. This Aribisogun talking is
all right, I'm afraid we need to wrap it up at this point. I apologize for that poor connection. Gentlemen, pardon me, we have to just go at this point in time. We have to thank both of you for coming on. Honorable Hakeem Jamiu, Deputy Speaker, Ekiti State House of Assembly, and Honorable Olugbega Aribisogun, former Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, who is insisting that he remains Speaker and that if things continue this way, he'll be forced to approach the courts and let the right things be done, as he says. But we thank both of you for coming on. We will be back ourselves here in just a moment. Stay with us.